Hello, hello. Voice should be working. Audio. Yeah, audio is working. That is good. I started using Ethernet again, and that's been working well. I still don't know why sometimes it just doesn't want to work very well, but it's it's back to doing good, so that's nice to see. Probably won't really make any difference in these streams. I had good internet regardless, but hopefully it's more consistent. Well, I'm going to play. Oh, hi, Kitty. Hi. I don't know if you can hear her. I'm going to play some Minecraft. Shocker. Not not exactly sure what I want to do. I'm thinking maybe work on some farms. Uh, I've talked about my ideas for like the wheat fields and kind of how I want that to look. But I haven't done very much with that. Resource packs. Also, oh, the music frequency got reset. Well, I was thinking I might I might change this to constant, particularly while streaming. Um, Kitty. It makes jukeboxes a bit more awkward to use, but otherwise, I think it might be nice to just like always have music playing rather than only on occasion. Hello, bees. Oh yeah, I marked out a little bit of a path. Maybe I'll work on that today. Maybe that'll be one of the things I do. I'm starting a bit late, so I don't know how long I'm gonna go for, but I'll try to do a little bit of stuff. I heard an Enderman, and it reminded me that I have an Enderman in my attic. I think it's still there. Ah, I don't know how much dirt I need. It's probably a lot. Oh. I should probably grab my armor. I don't know if I actually need to wear it though, just yet. Just good to have on hand. Is the villager talking with the llamas? How bizarre. I think when I build this style house in my future proper single player world, like the one that I will intend to be much longer lasting. I mean, I might do this in this world. Wouldn't be a big deal to take out this amethyst. But I might try to place it more purposefully. I don't mind it being like being kind of a sporadic placement. You know what? Let's collect this bamboo and then go to sleep before we head over. What was I thinking? Yeah, I don't mind the amethyst placement being more sporadic. But I might prefer it be a bit more based on lighting. Of course, that is not a static thing, but imagining kind of a light source in a specific area and then having the amethyst be like the darker shaded spots could be nice. Kind of like how Tango Tech has been building Decked Out 3. You know? But I don't know. I don't know how important that necessarily is to me. Oh. Why is there a forest on fire? And where did my arrow go? Is that it? Well, I suppose I'm glad I used the hitbox. I don't believe I ever would have found that. Quite the shot. I'll let you all take care of that. I'm sure they've got it. Oh yeah, I moved all my valuables into my ender chest. I do like, I'm sure I've said it probably multiple times, I do like having that bit of mangrove out in the river. Now maybe I'll go add some more to the other side right now. Saplings are in here. I really don't need that many. Let's say 8. I might struggle to use even that much, but I can try. Oh, didn't mean to take that from you. I really ought to start thinking about what other builds I want in this area. This is a good start. Having just like simple little village house, village houses. I got stuck between house and hut. I could also, rather than having their work areas be in the houses, I could make separate buildings for each of their workstations, and that would help fill out that area even more. For some reason, I feel like I should be able to place it on sand. Place these on sand. I don't know why. Broken clocks. Oh, lovely. Well, it seems like 8 was a pretty good amount. Any other logs in this tree? It was a bit of a bigger one. I feel like there is, but I don't see any. trying to clear out all of these trees near where I've placed the mangrove propagules. I don't wish for them to intertwine. It's a bit of a shame removing a larger tree like this, but that's all right. You probably won't notice a difference, but I have adjusted the skin a bit more. Honestly, I'm not even sure what all what all I've done since the last time. I do know, however, that the very bottom of the tunic is different. It's a bit flatter texturing, which also allows for a bit better detail. I think that's nice. I was going for a similar thing before, but like the harsher outline at the bottom just, it made it not work very well. Apples. Pretty good. I wonder if they'll ever add a more proper way of farming apples. Ooh. One mangrove tree acquired. Is this just one? I think it is, but it's big. I have a feeling they might be updating the salmon soon. For one thing, there's some stuff in the code. I don't know how new it necessarily is. It sounds like it's a new thing. I'm unfamiliar with the specifics of it. Oh, this is actually too close now. Let's put that a little further out. But there's something about like high seas tag for salmon that makes them behave a bit differently, or some such thing. And also with all the model changes, all the baby model changes for better style consistency, the different salmon sizes, which were just recently introduced to Java, are now a bit out of place. Though, related to that, I would find it a bit strange that they added that parity. They added the different salmon sizes to Java Edition. only for them to shortly after update those sizes. It seems more like if they were planning to add different models for the different sizes, it seems more their style to just wait until they were ready for the new models. But that doesn't necessarily need to be the case. Oh, yeah, this'll be a fun little area when they're all filled in. Is there any... I could move this one over as well. Yeah, I don't think... Oh, there's one right there. Maybe that. And are there any close to here? There's one right there. So that's probably good spacing. I hope. Yeah, and then when I get more lily pads, I could add a bunch throughout the river. Oh, I should also... I've never done the building trick of putting a bunch of leaves throughout water. Now that leaves are waterloggable, that's a really nice building detail. So I should do that. That would look lovely. Can you put the pink cactus flowers on leaves? Oh, I don't know, but that would be really, really nice if you could. Where was that copper golem trying to go? I just realized I don't think you can heal these little creatures with copper ingots. That's a bit of a shame if not. You know what, I should check my audio against the game, because when I played Hollow Knight last, I did increase that. I also didn't think about it when playing Hytale. It should be fine in both cases. I think the volume is about the same between all of these games. We should have it set about the same. Well, I could certainly hear myself all right, so yeah, that should be fine. Oh, chicken. Yeah, if I could get this path set up today, that would be quite nice. Let's see how this is going. I think I had a bunch left over in this chest. A few. That's like totally the same as a bunch. Actually, wait. Did I leave most of them? I remember my inventory was struggling a bit. I may have left most of them in here. Yes. Yes, that is where the bunch comes into play. I need to learn to be more willing to set up things like this. Just kind of randomly, like on a whim. Because it's not good when well, when it takes me as long as it did to set up farms like that. I mean, I set these up and I haven't hardly even used them. To be fair, I'm kind of already overflowing on the carrots and potatoes, because this is a lot. I need to get some farmer villagers to trade with. But yeah, I just like, I worry, oh, pumpkin. I worry too much about like the exact placement of things, and I think I kind of have this idea as if like it's gonna be a permanent fixture, and that doesn't have to be. It might be, but it doesn't have to be. I could easily replace all of that and maybe build something more proper, like a sort of greenhouse or some such thing. Greenhouse doesn't necessarily sound appropriate for crops. But like I could make this into a more natural feeling crop setup, potentially. It's kind of fun how this was entirely unintentional, but kind of fun how this pathway up goes right up against one of these crop fields. And then I wanted, well, for one thing, let's fill in all of this. And then that out. I think that's all right. Should this have like maybe that? I think so. I want this to be a bit more natural feeling. And then I want to have another section of crops around this layer, around this level. Maybe just right where I'm standing. That's probably good. I could move it down one. I think I will. Make sure to shear the bushes. It would be very funny if they made it so Fortune works on the carpet flowers. Of course, there's not really a purpose to that, but well, and it would be, it would just mean you could have infinite flowers, so that wouldn't be a good thing. But it would be really funny because, you know, they're already like so much. Maybe I only go out to here. Oh, but I think this should actually be raised up. Maybe. Maybe not. As much as I do like the Instamine, I understand why Gemini Tay likes to just, or doesn't like it. Why she generally prefers the normal, slower mining. I need so much more dirt. Should probably also put my armor on. Oh, good timing. Sometimes the spear kind of just doesn't work. Hmm. so very many, so very many pink flowers. Where do I have a spot for the bushes? I don't know. Oh, I do. Okay. I don't know if I have a spot for the apples. Once again, I do. That makes sense. Is this too much dirt? No. One can't have too much dirt. No, it probably is, but that's okay. The constant music is nice. I kind of enjoy the sporadic nature of how it normally is. But, yeah. It's definitely nice just like always having something playing as well. And again, I think especially for streaming purposes, it's good to have constantly something constantly going. Let's see, maybe rotten flesh. I don't know. I don't know if I'll put any wheat fields here. Perhaps I probably should for just for aesthetics, but that one's definitely less usable. I might also make these into more proper staircases with like some stairs of some sort. Maybe I don't fill this one all the way. I don't love leaving hollow terrain, but I absolutely understand why people do it. I think at a certain degree you just kind of have to, realistically. want this more to here. Ow. And I want another lower section around here. I keep falling. I suppose this should also be one, huh? Strength spider? That's potentially scary. The double creepers is scarier. Zombies stole my dirt. Now I'm not sure how I feel about this. Maybe it's still good. I still don't have loading on this. Oh. Wandering Trader is an interesting site way out here. Oh my goodness, I really did need all of that dirt. What you got? Moss. Yeah. I think I need a lead for this. No, come on, come on. Oh. Let's use my lovely little trail, which I still need to replace with some coarse dirt and gravel and that sort of thing, so that it actually looks like a proper trail. I tried to open my inventory. Oh, right. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it, I swear. Let's see. Gotta attach these first. Yeah. I came back here for emeralds, which was unnecessary because they are in my ender chest. Well, any that I have are in my ender chest. Make some dispensers. Not enough cobblestone. grass, surely I don't have stored in here. I think I might just stick that in a bundle. Oh, and I do have moss. Okay. Never mind. No need to buy it from the Wandering Trader. And I do have emeralds as well. I like how 2 of these stacks of nuggets could go into an ingot. However, it's kind of good for them to remain there for the purpose of having a place for those. Though I could just use a bundle. And I might just do that. Am I doing unleaded though? Not terrible. I've got a little bit. Right, string. Make a couple of bundles. Colors do I want these to be? I want one for these valuables since there's so few of them. It's like high tier valuables, and one for the nuggets. I guess the nuggets can probably just be white. And I'm thinking maybe yellow for these. I mean, magenta is generally what I like to go for. Oh, maybe pink, actually. I could also do like a light blue. And yeah, now, since I'm doing this, let's just craft all of these. Oh. That's a lot better. I probably want like a full row for each of these, ideally. Because over time I'll probably end up with multiple stacks of the raw and full blocks. The blocks, basically. But I think for the time being, that is all right. I mean, you know, three rows is the entire ender chest. I need shulker boxes for that. Oh! Oh, they're oxidizing. It is kind of fun seeing them just mid-motion like that. Oh, the walking pose is actually so good for that. I think this one is just here kind of for silliness. these two are like, you know, they're frozen kind of as they were. And then I'm guessing the sitting pose, that one, is not used when they, it's not used for when they freeze. All right. Oh. Oh, and there goes the other one. Oh. This was the goal, but it's... There's something a little sad about it in a way. Still getting used to the keybinds. The keybind hot swapping. I'm doing it though. I'm practicing with it, and that's what's important. You don't get good at something unless you do it. That needs a bridge. Just went in a circle for kind of no reason. I've got a peach Izzy, by the way. A very lovely, one of the best ones. How do I feel about these trees? There's 3 of them here. They're all just single trees, but they're leaning towards the cliff, which is... I do kind of like it. I think these ones are acceptable. One of them being larger could be nice, but it's not needed. Does this feel a bit flat? Maybe. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. All right. There's the nether portal. Alright. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. So it won't reach over here, which is maybe fine. Yeah, this should get like pretty much all of this. I'm pretty sure it reaches all the way over to this corner. Exactly. Yeah. Same with this one. Should be the same distance. 3 blocks in a diagonal. I guess that's an easier way of counting it. And then what kind of rock do I want here? Could just do something simple like that. Yeah. This one, I do want to cover the whole area. Also, let's get rid of all this grass. What? Another wonder trader just spawned. That's crazy. Yeah, so I think this one I can be a little less meticulous about the placement of the rocks. Because I need 2 of them regardless. So something like that should be fine. Oh. Whoops. Dang it. What about this? Take out those 2 for starters. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can't get those 2. That's okay. Well, let's go with that. This is another more decorative one. to be fair, this is kind of all pretty decorative. Right, what do you have? Cherry logs are nice, but I've kind of got an abundance of those. Could trade some hay bales. See, do I have a desire to head back to my base at this time? Maybe. I say that as though this isn't part of my base. It very much is. Where's the cat? It's like I'm setting up a perimeter of llamas. To be fair, if they like attacking pillagers, they may serve as a sort of shield for the villagers. Not that I want the llamas to get hurt. But the villagers are arguably a bit more important. I think this might be too many pumpkins. I seem to be good on pumpkins for the time being. Is there anything that I needed? Emptied my inventory a bit. Oh, I did. Oh. I did want to empty out some of that dirt. I don't think I need any more right now. I think I feel pretty good about the terraforming I've done. Well, actually, I may want a bit more for pathing. For the purpose of making paths. Oh, and if I'm gonna do that, I would like some cherry slabs. I think just 8 should be enough. We put everything away. How nice. Yeah, let's try to get this path going a little bit. Perfect. Honestly, it could have done with one more across. And looks like 2 more fence posts. That's pretty good. Sorry I'm so silent at the moment. It's just, well, bit difficult to like try to talk over this, I guess. just realized I hope these paths don't make horseback riding obnoxious at all. There's a chance they do, but hopefully not too bad. I think that's looking pretty good. Now again, I would like these to be more custom paths with yeah, probably coarse dirt and gravel mainly. But for the time being, this certainly does its job. Oh, this is... Yeah, this section might be a little difficult. I think I probably just need to do a staircase. Commit to the steepness of it. They're getting stuck again. So silly. Oh. Yeah, I do in fact want 2 more of these. And 2 more of these. Okay. Let's see how this path feels. That tree's a bit awkward. I might move that or just try to get a smaller one. But otherwise, yeah. I think that's nice. Hello, chickens. Lots of eggs. And that's an inefficient farm. That's, you know, not everything, not all the ground is properly covered. So there's a bit of loss. doesn't really matter too much. Okay, there? That's probably good. Yeah. I may have actually picked the perfect spot. I don't mind if this doesn't get covered, so I think this will be what I aim for. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. Yeah, I guess I'll just put a rock here. That's kind of a fun one. Oh, maybe... Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. I would like for you to leave. Sure. Okay, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think like here would be good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't quite reach over here. Hang on, what if I did this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'd cover all of this area and this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that would all be covered. What about, yeah, this corner I think wouldn't be, but I can just put, yeah, I can just put like a small little rock there. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Uh, need more slabs. Wait, but yeah, do I want this area? I'm not sure. What? I think I will. It's just gonna be awkward because there's a lot more opportunity for dropping down onto this. A zombie? That is... Was it 3 blocks in between? What was my logic? I guess it's 3 blocks in, so it's a 4 block diagonal away from the center, basically. Yeah, that makes sense. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go for a bit of a bigger one right here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. Yeah. So I think that has to be dirt, which is fine. Oh. Apparently the zombie has thorns. Oh, I can climb up here now. That's kind of fun. Okay, I believe that is all of them. Why? Just why? properly patch that up another time. Creepers are so obnoxious. And now now it's just to get enough seeds to fill in all of these fields. Yeah, in theory, I should not have any struggle getting enough seeds for this. You get so many from using fortune on wheat. I was thinking I needed to have dirt to replace that grass, but I... I'm somehow forgetting that I get dirt from breaking the grass. Which is very silly. Very, very silly. Yeah, the only thing I don't much like about the rocks is occasionally going up half a slab and falling onto the wheat and breaking it, or the farmland. That's ridiculous, though. That was just reckless. Yeah, the idea that the falling half a block down, which that's supposed to be like a smoother kind of transition, since you can just walk up it. Falling even that much can destroy farmland. It's very obnoxious. But anyways, that was silly. This is looking pretty good. Also, I think really I'm gonna put a water source there. Because that was bothering me a little bit. Yeah, I think this is lovely. Certainly not the most efficient method for farming wheat. But I do think it's going to look nice when it's all fully grown. Especially from lower down. Yeah, I think the view of this mountain will be pretty nice. I should grab some more water. Also, let's replace these with the tough slabs. This one as well. That's nice. I might leave these as they are. I have enough tough for it. Maybe another time I will. But for now, that's fine. But I think the tough is just a bit nicer. It's such a like natural rocky / dirt looking block. I think it works really well blending with the farmland. I mean, it doesn't like blend with it, but you know, it mixes well. Let's see, tomorrow is Snapshot Day. There's not going to be any new baby models. They're all finished up on that. But there is a chance they update the humanoid baby mobs, because the community hasn't been too happy about those. I think they're fine. I mean, if they want to update them like I'm not gonna complain. I think I'll do tough stairs. Tough is just such an incredible block. It's frankly a little unfair. Mumbo Jumbo has talked a lot about, like, he said a lot that, like, he hasn't gotten better at building. He just, or Mojang have just added better blocks to the game. And while I do think he's selling himself a little short there, he's not exactly wrong either. Like, they have added so many just absolutely wonderful blocks to the game in recent years. The game truly has gotten just a lot better for building. It's kind of funny to imagine that, you know, Minecraft, the build game, needed to get better for building. But it was a little... It was arguably a little lacking in areas. I think the amount that it's improved is kind of proof that well, it had that room to improve. And it still has, it is still very lacking in certain areas. You know, there's still certain colors that are just like very awkward to build with, even for very experienced builders. Because I mean, like, it's not like pixel art where you can just pick and choose any. You can just like select any colors you can possibly imagine, basically. It's like the way that you build is kind of like 3D pixel art, but yeah, you don't have that ability to select just any and all possible colors and create whatever textures. You are limited by what they provide, and there are some substantial colors that are just not very present in the game, if at all. Namely, blue and green are quite lacking, which it's a little bit ironic that this entire room is kind of bluish green, but that is different from blue and green separately. You know, copper definitely does a little bit for green. But it's not perfect. There's still, I think it's probably not very natural. I don't know. Builders who desire to build in green could probably give good explanations as to how copper might not be quite sufficient on that front. I imagine it is great for it. I mean, personally speaking, I do view this what is this stage called? Is it weathered? I'm forgetting one of the names. Here, let me just. Okay, so this one is weathered. What is the stage before it called? Exposed. Right. Yeah, I personally find the weathered texture a little gross looking, which is fantastic if that's what you want, or if you want it to be like more of like a sewer setting, it'd be fantastic. Or ironically, a more like natural setting, but natural with metal, like metal in a natural setting. You know, it doesn't necessarily work as a natural block itself, I think. It could. But, you know, basically like a green wood set would go a long ways. There's not really darker green. Yeah, then blue. Blue just doesn't really have anything. Again, like there's a bit of blue in here, in tough. This fully oxidized copper is a little bit of blue, but they're both more bluish green, more of a teal, which is kind of its own thing. And another one that doesn't really have any big block sets, any substantial block sets, is purple. There's purple. There is purple. But that's kind of about it. There's nothing for like a darker purple. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely room for growth. People, of course, want concrete and terracotta stairs, slabs, and walls. And those would help. I don't know if they're a perfect solution by any means. The terracotta would be pretty nice. Concrete is still... It's kind of an intense block. You know, there's hardly any texture with it. Is the Enderman still here? No, but it left a gift. Huh. I just took my armor off, but I wanted to go farm some experience. I guess I can go do that regardless. I mean, it'll probably be fine. What's the worst that could happen? Getting attacked by a skeleton. Not the best start. It would be very ironic if I went down to get XP and then I died. I think next time I really ought to set up a mine entrance for this area. Having like a proper way down here would be very nice. I think I do want to set up a little fishing area here. It needs to be at minimum a 5x5 area with, I think it might be like 2 blocks, or it's either 2 or 3 blocks deep. Ideally bigger though. I actually don't know how this works. It might just be that the area has to be at least 5x5 and then you can fish from anywhere within that area. My assumption has been that the area around your bobber, your fishing rod bobber, must be a 5x5 area. So you have to like aim right in the middle if it's exactly 5x5. I didn't think about thorns. Ouch. Yeah, I don't know how exactly that works. But if it is the area around your bobber has to be 5 by 5, then it would be better to have a larger area. And then you're still aim for the middle, but you're a lot less likely to miss the area that you need. I guess you could also, you could just set up like a block. You could just set up like a floating block that's adjacent to the middle, and then you aim at that, and then the bobber, I think, would hit the block and fall into the water, and then be like right in the middle. And rather than just like a random floating block, you could set up like a cattail or something more thematically appropriate. But yeah, being able to fish while I'm not AFKing, but while I'm waiting for zombies to drop, would be very nice. So yeah, when I set up a proper mine entrance, and I have more of an idea of like the layout of this place, then I think I'll also set up that little fishing area. It all needs to be close to this. I don't know what the range is for activating the spawner. Oh. The zombie. But, yeah, it needs to be relatively close to this area. You know, ideally I'd be standing basically like in this room still while fishing. But yes, going back to the baby mobs. I don't really mind the new baby humanoid models. The villagers, I think, work quite well. Honestly, the piglins I might have the biggest issue with, but I do think they work. I kind of was hoping they would go more for like the piglin runt from Legends, that sort of design. But that's also probably not intended to be a baby piglin, so it's understandable that they wouldn't do that. Well, as well, I'm pretty sure those are hostile whereas the baby piglins are not. Um, but yeah, the baby zombies. I don't know. I get the complaints about them, but after I was seeing everyone, oh, thunder. After I was seeing everyone complain about them so much, I did check, and I'm tempted to head back up to sleep because the thunder might be a bit annoying. But I did check, and human babies, they don't have the biggest, but they do have one of the biggest head to body ratios. Like, human baby heads are really big for the size of their bodies. And you know, the baby zombie heads don't have to be like so much bigger than their bodies to represent that. But like, you know, the exaggerated level of it, I think, does kind of work. Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to make the heads just like a little bit smaller, or the bodies a little bit bulkier, a little bit bigger, then I think that would be fine. There's also been, I think, more substantial complaints about the armor, because currently the baby mob armor is a one-size-fits-all for all of the different baby humanoids, which looks particularly a little awkward on the baby zombies, because the piglins have wider bodies, and so the armor needs to be bigger to fit them. So it's just like super oversized on the baby zombies. And I really don't, again, I don't mind it. I think it's silly. It does look like a little baby wearing oversized clothing, and that has some charm to it. But I wouldn't be against them trying to address it in some way. But we'll see tomorrow. If they don't change it tomorrow, that doesn't mean that they won't. But I do think I do think it means... I do think there's a higher likelihood that they don't change it at all if they don't tomorrow. You know, it's probably been enough time for them to think of a solution that they're happy with and implement it. So yeah, I imagine if they're going to change it, it will most likely be in tomorrow's snapshot. But again, you know, nothing's guaranteed. I'm quite pleased that I updated my skin with my new style that I'm developing, and more so that I revisited this this armored, or this armor, I guess, on my right arm. Yeah, I think I accomplished what I was going for a lot better this time. I'm sure I probably looked at some kind of reference before, but the reference that I followed this time did me a lot better, I think. I was probably just trying to do like a full set of armor, like full coverage armor, I mean. And it didn't work great. But yeah, I think this is quite nice looking. I gotta do the same for the legs at some point. I wanna design, probably won't ever use it on my character, but I want to design a full set of armor. It's hopefully as good as this little bit. There is more on the upper bicep, but I'm wearing a sleeve there, so it's covered. Yeah, this much is still very nice looking, I think. What do I even want to enchant right now? I don't know. Maybe tools. Possibly some armor. Re-enchant my armor, maybe. I still need feather falling on my boots. But yeah, also when I first mentioned on stream that I was starting to work on skins again, I was starting to build up my skin templates again. I said that I would eventually like revisit the armor texture, and then just kind of went and did it right away. And I'm glad I did that. The reason I did it right away is because when, you know, I keep saying skin templates and stuff, but I haven't really explained that. I think I like to build out of parts. You know, some people will just like design a whole skin outfitted and all like from scratch. I like to design each individual piece and put them together. In part because I adore customization. I'm very big on customization, and so I want to make things as customizable as possible. Hopefully someday for other people as well. But yeah, and so when working on building up different skin templates, different parts, a nice way of doing that is just going through the progression of my character and, you know, making all the different parts for that, for all of those. And it's just fun to see that updated like progression of things. I also changed the texture for the lacing on my boots and corset, which honestly I'm not sure if I necessarily like it better. I think it's similarly as good, but the old one did feel maybe a bit random and busy. I think this one, it might read a little bit better. But yeah, I think I like it. It is maybe a little awkward how it's like the lace on the corset is like the same. Here, I can show my cursor. It's the same kind of texture as like the belt. So like those sort of blend together a little bit. The belt buckle specifically. But I don't think that's too big of a deal. What? baby Zombo. Okay, let's head back out. Oh. I like that they added these little, you know, falling particles for naturally generated sand and gravel that is floating, which is normally impossible. It's a nice way of reflecting that it's unstable. What time is it? Midnight. Well, I'll probably be fine. Is specifically just that honeycomb loaded in? How do you see chunk borders? This one. You know, it might be. They are in separate chunks. I think that must be the case because I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't really know where that area is in relation to my house here. Maybe it is more in that direction. But yeah, I feel like those would have had honey in them if they could. Suppose I didn't need those leggings. All right. Infinity, I don't care about that. I might go for efficiency 3 on the tools. Oh, I definitely don't want to enchant the chest plate, or re-enchant the chest plate. The only reason I would re-enchant this chest plate would be to remove thorns. Which, like, I think I'm fine with it being there. I'm kind of indifferent about it. It loses durability faster, which is not ideal. Yeah, it's fine. The helmet is missing respiration. The fire protection is potentially kind of nice, but not too bothered by that. Leggings, yeah, those have everything you could want. So yeah, it is really just helmet and boots. I might want to try to reroll. Nothing's looking too good at the moment. Maybe I do try for the boots. I mean, do I even really care that much about feather falling? Obviously I do. I want it eventually, but for the time being, I don't know if I'm that worried about it. But it's like, nothing else looks good. Let's just do the book. Quick charge 1. That's funny. Aqua affinity, okay. So I wouldn't be losing it. Silk touch shovel, that could be nice. Silk touch axe. What do you want on the axe? I think you do want silk touch. Yeah. Do I care about this book? I don't think so. It's just infinity. Efficiency 4. Okay. So I'll probably just use this to repair my current axe at some point. Which of these is cheaper? Of course that way is cheaper. Well, good thing I haven't named it. That would be a little bit tragic. Okay, well that's lovely. Oh, and I could get silk touch on the shovel. It says depth strider and feather falling. Again, and protection. I don't know if these three have any correlation between each other. They might not. I've kind of been looking at checking all of them as if they do. But I have no idea. I mean, this is protection, fire protection. Like, They probably don't, but maybe to some degree. Efficiency 4 on the book is kind of nice. Shovel might be more important. Same thing again. Silk touch and efficiency without the unbreaking. Well, that is quite lovely. That literally exact same roll 2 times in a row. Yeah, that's fantastic. Oh, and I forgot about the hoe. Well, that's okay. But yeah, when these tools are getting low, I can just repair and upgrade them. They'll both have efficiency 5 and silk touch. It'll be quite nice. Maybe a little bit annoying on the shovel. Like, I don't think there's really any purpose for a shovel to have fortune. But I don't really love picking up grass all of the time with the shovel. I generally prefer to have dirt over grass. I understand that like you can turn grass into dirt, but the opposite is a lot harder. But like, dirt is just generally nicer to build with. And also, I don't think you can make, you know, coarse dirt or anything of the sort from grass. But Silk Touch Shovel is still very important regardless. The Silk Touch axe is basically all you want. If you ever want to mine, if you ever specifically want to harvest melons for the melon blocks for the melons, then you want to use Fortune. Otherwise, I don't think anything relevant to axes is affected by Fortune. But Silk Touch does let you harvest melon blocks as a block. Lets you pick up bookshelves without them breaking. Also chiseled bookshelves, apparently. I found that out the hard way. I did not know those needed Silk Touch. Apparently they do. Yeah, and other things probably. Oh, mushrooms? Actually, Fortune probably works on mushroom stems. I do think that is one. That is one where you might want Fortune X. But generally speaking, Silk Touch is just nice to have. To be fair, it's not super. It doesn't come up super often either. Melons and bookshelves, you're not mining those every day. But it's probably a little bit more common than Fortune. Probably a lot more common, actually. Again, both instances where you might want Fortune on your axe, you're more likely to want Silk Touch for that same exact block. So, I don't know. Hello. That was a weird time to pause. The dog was mid-bark and it just sounded like a scream. Broken clocks. Oh. Well, yeah, I think that is all for today. 3 hours, pretty good. It was, again, a bit of a late stream for me. Well, not that that has necessarily been unusual, but I'm trying to move to an earlier schedule. I'm trying. But yeah, I did some good work with like terraining and for the farm, and did some more path stuff. Good work. You know, I'm glad that I am trying to make a point to be productive every time I play. At least make progress on something. It's slow, but gradually I'll get some things built up. And you know, I occasionally mention my plan to move to a different world seed eventually, and this one is unfortunately not a forever world, if you will. But that really, it probably is not going to be very soon that happens. So, you know, I do, yeah, hopefully I can do some cool stuff in this world. At the very least, I do intend to, like, beat the Ender Dragon, probably fight the Wither at some point. You know, the main, like, progression stuff. Absolutely, I will make a point to beat the Ender Dragon, even if, like, I don't know, Mojang announced some crazy update for the upcoming summer drop that made me want to restart the world. You know, I would then I would make a point to go beat the Ender Dragon probably before that drop, but before switching worlds. So that's definitely a goal that I should be accomplishing at some point. And yeah, I still I wanna build various things. Probably nothing too crazy, but some more little structures here and there. Hopefully throughout this world I can get a little bit better at just like coming up with ideas for what to build. Because that's something that I have been struggling with playing Minecraft recently. I guess just in general, like I have more of a far off idea that I don't even know how well I'll be able to achieve that once I get to it. It won't be in this world, I will say, but this current survival world. Yeah, like back during the Nether update when I was playing on a server with some friends, we had some ideas, but we never really made it out of building like tents, which was fun. We built a bunch of tents for like different work areas, different themes. Even had like nether and end tents, and I built a big like nether corruption area that spread from the nether portal. We did some fun stuff in that area, but it never got much beyond that. We never really went out in different areas. And in our more recent server that is dormant at this point, I built a house similar to the one that I'm building now, and I was starting to work on like a tower, and I had some farms and stuff, but I was still just kind of struggling on the builds, on like trying to think of what I wanted to build. Which, to be fair, I've already done better in this world. I made a barn. That's an improvement. I've made 2 little villager houses. So I am already doing better. And I have an idea for like a little mine shaft area, little mine. That won't exactly be much of a build, but maybe a little bit of a build. But yeah, I think. Oh, I did also on the server. I did make a cartographer tower for my cartographer villager. So I did have another build there. Still doing better in this world, I think. But it's a bit closer than I was recalling. Yeah, I think part of my struggle is that I'm really attached to this style of house that I'm making. I've made it twice now and intend to make it again in my proper forever world. So I'm really attached to this style of house, but I don't know if I like how much I want to commit to that style for other builds, and I think maybe I'm getting a little tripped up there. Because like you want coherency, but I'm not sure exactly in what way I should have coherency with everything. If like it should be the exact same style, or like using similar block palettes, or specifically like using tough, but then using other blocks with it. with it or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think that is maybe that's maybe been a bit of a challenge for me. But hopefully throughout this world I can improve at all of that. And when I do start my proper forever world, I think calling it that is a little bit silly, but to be fair, I don't know how else to necessarily refer to it. That is the intention, is to play it forever. Yeah, hopefully by the time I get to that, I can be a bit more adept at building, starting building, thinking of things I want to build, and all of that stuff. Also interiors. I gotta do more interior work and try to get better at that. I really enjoy, like, living in a build, I think. You know, some people very much live outside of their builds. It's more... their builds are maybe more kind of set pieces, perhaps. You know, it's a fancy thing to look at, but then they might just have their giant storage room some other place or whatever, and like, or maybe it's part of the build, but it's more like function over form. But I think I really enjoy living in a build, and so I want to make that as like comfortable, cozy as possible. Which also includes not having pets everywhere. I want to get the advancements for all the different wolves and cats and things. But I do need to find places to like keep most of them that's not in my house. Anyways, yeah, that will be all. Yep, session is over, I think. Probably. Yeah, excited for the snapshot tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Oh. Yeah, should... That's right, yeah. I should be back on Thursday for real this time, probably. Last Thursday, I forget. I think it just kind of... I kept not starting, and it got to be a bit late, and I decided to prioritize sleep and other stuff. And then I meant to stream on Friday because I didn't stream on Thursday, and then it was just kind of the same thing. So I can't guarantee that won't happen again, but I will try to stream on Thursday. It is, you know, one of the days I'm trying to go for consistently. And then Saturday as well. Yeah. Until then, I shall see you later. Farewell.